Can I proceed? See, we are here to do some discussion. Once or twice side comments accepted, playfulness okay, but it is not through the class. It disturbs the momentum of the class. Dignity gone, subject dignity gone. If you listen like this, if you promise me that you will be scoring 100 marks and listen like this, I don't worry at all. Number 3% getting result. Father so much joke. Now please, I'm not joking. Yeah, understand that seriousness missing. Again I say, you're learning for the subject for the first time in the so much playfulness na, then how much clarity will be getting? Please, you're not here to enjoy. You have to only study. Right or not? Please tell me the number. First total 1,78,858. Tell me clearly the total. 1,49,674. Third. 1,55,604. Next. 1,62,365. Please. Next. 1,70,000. 1,70,074. Please. Shh. This is total. Now, my question is, these cash flows are before tax or after tax or after tax? In a principal also after tax, interest also what? After tax. So don't say sir, no tax deducted here. Tax is what? 0. And the after tax is what? 0. And the tax is going to be applied. So these two cash flows added, I'll be getting after tax cash flows or not? Tell me. After tax cash flow should be discounted at before tax interest rate, after tax interest rate, after tax interest rate, before tax cash flow discounted before tax interest rate, after tax using what? After tax, then only it is matching, yes or no? Because when I expect an IRR from an after tax, I expect only the after tax return, yes or no? When I require an IRR from a before tax cash flow, I require what? A before tax return, always there should be matching of the cash flows and the discount rate. Respond, yes or no? Now, tell me. The interest percentage is 15%. 14%. What interest percentage? 14%. 14% is the interest the bank is charging before tax. What is the interest percentage after tax? 14% into 60 bank is how much percent? 8.4%. So can I discount at 8.4% or not? Now, I have present value factor at what percent? 8.4%. If I have value factor for year 0 is what? 1 and 0.9225. Here one is 0.9225 and here 2 is how much? 0.8510, 0.7851, last is 0.7242. This is going to be the present value factor. Everybody yes or no? Now, then I'm going to have the discounted cash flow. Please tell me, 178,858 into 1 gives you what? 178,858. Yes or no? 1,49,674 into 0.9225. Somebody tell me clearly. 1,38,074. 138,074. Third case. 419. 419. 419. Next. 1,47,000. 1,27,473. Please, last. 1,168. 123, 160. Please don't talk now. Can you tell me the total of this? Tell me what is the number? It is going to be how much? 7 lakhs. What is going to be what the same? 7 lakhs. Please. That means if I discount using the borrowing rate, if I discount using what? Borrowing rate, the principal and interest repayment, it will give you the cost of the asset or amount borrowed. Now, listen here. For a loan and buy option, listen here. For what option? Loan and buy option. Tell me what are the 4 cash flows? What are 4 cash flows? Yeah. Principal repayment, interest after tax payment, tax savings on depreciation, present value of tax savings on the salvage value after tax. 4 cash flows are not. Now, what they can do is, first two cash flows, one need not write elaborately and discounted. If the discounted happens to be what? A borrowing cost. Happens to be what? A borrowing cost. First two cash flows, no need to write and discount. Simply write as cost of that 7 lakhs. No, right or not? Like this, some problems are done in what? Study material. You wonder, sir, why they have not written the first two cash flows, interest cash flows as well as what? Principal. The reason is very simple, because if we discount that at what? Borrowing cost, will come to only what? The same cost of the asset. Yes or no? So why to write the cash flows, discount at what? 8.4 and still get what? Same 7 lakh. I can simply write the present value of the principal and interest payment is equal to how much is 7 lakh. Only calculate for depreciation, others the cash flow discounted. Everybody yes or no? Provided I discount that the bank's borrowing costs are not at any other rack or any other discounted. Everybody following what I am saying? The point put in the now. Either before tax, suppose I write what? Interest before tax. Okay, this is written, and I write also what? Interest before tax. Then discount how much percent? 14%. I'll be getting the same 7 lakhs. Yes or no? That's not a great rocket science, because it is an EMI. Discount at what? 14 gives you loan amount. In the right or not? Tell me yes or no. That means EMI after tax, discounted what? After tax discount, interest rate, after tax borrowing cost will give you what? Loan amount. EMI before tax, discounted what? Before tax interest rate will also give you what? Loan amount. Is an observation one can make. In the right or not? So from this, institute problems, these problems write it elaborately, that's how they are going to do. But in 1 or 2 RTP sums or practice manual sums, if they gave you the loan amount what? Straight away without discounting them, don't worry, because the present value of the principal and the present value of what? Interest after tax payment, discounted after tax borrowing rate will give back what? Principal only. They need not unnecessarily write and discount it. Are you convinced about this concept or not? Now, it is not only EMI. Even if I pay every year some interest, last year what? The principal still will be getting what? Same, because that interest rate, IRR of the loan amount only. Everybody follow what I am saying? So this is going to be the point I just wanted to convey in this particular regard before I go for the next sum. This point, are you following or not? So, you want to copy this, huh? Or I think you can understand this. You can go home and what? Work it out on your own and see once again. I'll give the note alone. Right on. Next. Note to question number 20. Number 27. Note to question number 27. Because unnecessary we need not copy. There's a mathematical proof. That is just to convince that it's going to be the same. I did it. Always one should be understanding it. That's all. Are you following or not? We need not use the class time to copy this. Okay. Now, notes to question number 27. Point number 1. Point number 1. Borrow and buy option. Point number 1. Borrow and buy option has 4 cash flows. Borrow and buy option has 4 cash flows. Borrow and buy option has 4 cash flows. Branch it into 4. Tell me what are the 4 cash flows? First is what? Present value of principal payment. First cash flow, present value of principal repayment. That's better. Present value of principal repayment. Present value of principal repayment. Second is what? Present value of interest payment after tax. Present value of interest payment after tax. Present value of interest payment after tax. Third branch is what? Present value of depreciation tax savings. Third branch, present value of depreciation tax savings. Present value of depreciation tax savings. The last branch is what? Present value of salvage value after tax. Last branch is present value of salvage value after tax. Point number 2. If we use borrowing cost as discount rate. If we use borrowing cost as discount rate. Stop writing. Tell me, discount rate is a rate used to discount the cash flows or not? If all the four cash flow are discounted at the loan cost itself, if I use one borrowing cost discounted, I can even use cost of capital, WACC and all for discounted. We'll discuss in the next stage, okay? But if I use what cost? Borrowing cost. What is borrowing cost? The rate that is the bank has given me loan for purchasing asset or not. So if you use borrowing cost as discount rate, then so this is a condition. What is the condition? The discount rate should be what? Borrowing cost. We use the borrowing cost as discount rate, then the present value of principal, then the present value of principal and interest payments is nothing but, then the present value of principal and interest payments is nothing but, the present value of principal payment and interest payment is nothing but what? Loan amount. Is nothing but loan amount or cost of asset. Is nothing but loan amount or cost of asset. Is nothing but loan amount or cost of asset. When we use interest after tax, then discount using, when we use interest after tax, then discount using, tell me then discount using what? After tax borrowing cost. Then discount using after tax borrowing cost. And if it is interest before tax, discount using, and if it is interest before tax, discount using, fill in the blank, discount using what? Before tax borrowing cost. Discount using before tax borrowing cost. Discount using before tax borrowing cost. Discount using before tax borrowing cost. Everybody, I think are able to understand it or not? No. With this we complete the discussion about this particular point. Tell me ultimately what was the point I discussed now? We discussed that present value of the principal payment and then what? Interest payment discounted at what? The borrowing cost will be giving me what? Loan amount or the cost of the asset. So the 4 cash flows has now become what? 3 cash flows. 7 lakhs can be returned straight away and the remaining 2 only needs to be what? Discounted for my calculation purpose. I think you are all able to understand it or not? No. With this we complete that particular note also. Now take question number 20A. A very unique sum, mark it as important, an RTP sum. Okay, they have taken from some foreign author. I don't know the book, I have not seen it, but it's an RTP sum. Mark it as important. It's an RTP sum, and it has been given in 3 RTPs. How many RTPs here? 3 RTPs. Not yet asked in the examination. Yeah, little bit different type of sum where it is some concepts are going to be used and applied here. So mark it as important. Question number 28. Mark it as important. Okay, can we start or not? No. Please. Aged charter has been asked to operate a very light aircraft plane for a mining company exploring north and west of Maastricht. Agent will have a firm 1-year contract with the mining company and expect that the contract will be renewed for the 5-year duration of exploration program. If the mining company renews at year 1, it will commit to use the plane for 4 more years. Aged charter has the following choices. Buy the plane for euro 5 lakhs. Take 1 year operating lease for the plane. The lease rate is 1,18,000 euro paid in advance. Arrange 5-year non-cancellable financial lease at a rate of 75,000 euro per year paid in advance. How would you advise bought agent, the charter company CEO? Assume 5-year straight line depreciation for tax purposes. Company's tax rate is 35%. Weighted average cost of capital for very light aircraft business is 14%, but agent can borrow at 9%. The expected inflation rate is 4%. Agent thinks the plane will be worth 3 lakh euros after 5 years, but if the contract with the mining company is not renewed, there's a 20% probability of this outcome in year 1. The plane will have to be sold on a short notice for euro 4 lakhs. If agent charter takes the 5-year financial lease and the mining company cancels at year 1, agent can sublet the plane, that is, rent it out to another user, make additional assumption as necessary. That's the question. Please go through the problem before I start with the solution. Please go through the question quickly. Always read the question with the belief that we can understand it, okay? So don't read as if it is a Greek or Latin. Read it as if we are able to understand it. All are simple English only. If not solution, at least a fact should be understood, right, and order. So please read the question with intent, with focus. Please read it. Are you all reading it? I'm giving you a productive time. Don't take it as a break. I think you are all reading it or not? No. Unless you read on your own, you will not get the feel of the question. Okay, please read the question quickly. Can we start, Abba? Now. Let me discuss all the issues in the question first. Then calculation becomes easy. You will do on your own the entire solution. What are issues? Small issues only, nothing great. Needs to be discussed. Let us discuss that first and then go for the solution. We should know how to do it and then let us go for the solution. Okay? Now, first let us understand the facts of the question. Our company, Agent Charter, has got a contract with a mining company where they have to, they are going to give them, say, the flight on charter. Flight on what? Charter. And this contract is now for how many years? 1 year. After the contract is for 1 year. But if the mining company wants, it can renew the contract for 4 more years. That means I am having a contract. I am having a light aircraft. Suppose I am having an aircraft. This aircraft I am going to use for the purpose of what? A mining company. Because CEOs of different companies hire aircrafts for travel, etc. Yes or no? So they're going to take on charter. Charter means what? Rent. Or take on what? Rent the aircraft. So our company can run the aircraft for a mining company, and this contract is surely for a period of how many years? 1 year. But if the mining company wants, at the end of the first year, you're ready for how many years? Yeah, 4 more years. Yes or no? That means aged charter now wants a plane to do the contract. Yes or no? They want to have an aircraft to honor their contract or not? No. They are not owners of the aircraft. They don't have the aircraft also. Now they want an aircraft. Yes or no? No. They have two things. One is, this aircraft they may require for 1 year, or they may require for what? 5 years. So the probability of the contract getting renewed is how much percent? 80%. Next page, there's 20% probability of outcome in not renewing in what? Year 1. So probability of not renewing is 20%, and renewing how many percent is here? 80%. That means I may require the aircraft for 5 years, for which the chance is 80%. I may require the aircraft for what? 1 year. The chance is 20%. Is the next fact. Yes or no? I am only telling the fact. Now the question is, I want the aircraft or not? I have 3 options of getting the aircraft. One is buy the aircraft. Number 2 is what? Take it on operating lease. Year after year, I can just keep on renewing on what lease? Operating lease. I'll go for what? Financial lease. These are the 3 options. Tell me which option is better? Buying a financial or operating a? Whichever is cheaper. Whichever is what? Cheaper. As usual, this is the crux of the problem. We should tell them whether they have to go for a buying of the aircraft, or what? Operating, or what? Financial lease. Respond. Can I proceed or not? Now, the asset worth is how much? 5 lakh euros. What is the worth of the aircraft? 5 lakh euros. Now, if they buy the aircraft, they have to borrow how much? They have to borrow how much? Yeah, 5 lakhs. The 5 lakhs, when they borrow, they have to pay principal and interest or not? Tell me, what is the interest rate given? 9%. Now, under borrow and buy option, how many cash flows are there? 4 cash flows. Name the 4 cash flows. Principal repayment, interest after tax payment, depreciation tax saving, salvage value after tax. Yes or no? Now, in that, can I say boldly that principal and interest repayment, if a discount, will be 5 lakhs? Correct. Now only discussed here. The RTP also what? Does the same way. For other reasons only already proven. Respond following order. Now, in that case, 4 cash flows are there. One is what? Principal repayment. Number 2 is what? Interest after tax payment. These 2 cash flows provided, I am discounting at what? Borrowing will be giving me the 5 lakhs, the loan amount today. Yes or no? And then I have to discount what? Depreciation tax shield, as well as what? The salvage value after tax, are the 2 more cash flows under loan option. Am I right or not? Now, in loan option, what is the salvage value? There are 2 possibilities. Number 1, if the contract is only for 1 year, I buy the aircraft today, I keep it only for what? 1 year. I will dispose of at the end of the first year or not? In that case, I can sell it for how much salvage value? 4 lakh. Suppose I keep it for what? 5 years. How much is here? 3 lakh. That means there's 80% chance of getting a 3 lakh salvage value, and 20% chance of getting how much? 4 lakh salvage value. If I keep it for 5 years or what? 1 year. Respond. Are you following or not? Is another fact. Okay. Next. Operating lease means I have to pay lease rental at the end of beginning. Generally, most of the leases in operating have to pay and then take it. Yes or no? And to pay the lease and what? Take it. I have to pay how much lease rental? 1,18,000 euros lease rental at the beginning. Yes or no? Now, see, if the contract is for only 1 year, now I pay 1,18,000 euro. That's all matter over, because I don't renew it once again. Yes or no? But if the contract goes for what? 5 years. Since I am taking on what lease? Operating lease. I have to renew year after year. Yes or no? When you renew year after year, the rent will be same, inflated. The operating lease, I am not agreeing for the entire term now itself. I go to the lessor again, and I will be increasing rent by how much percent? 4%. For the inflation rate is given. Everybody following or not? We should know why inflation is given. It is given for what? Operating lease rental calculation. Are you following or not? Now, next is financial lease is how many years? 5 years. It is non-cancelable. Once I take, I have to pay only for how many years? 5 years. And it is how much here? 75,000 euro is going to be the financial lease. But in first year, if I don't renew the contract, they said that you can sublet it. You know what? Sublet it. The answer assume that I can sublet for the same 75,000 euro. So the cash flow becomes zero in what? Second, third, and fourth, and fifth year. Everybody following or not? Now, all this details has been given, and one more detail given. The weighted average cost of capital is how much percent? 14%. What is back here? 14% for this light aircraft business. Every business is having a discount rate or not? Industry KE, we calculate using industry beta, and then use the industry debt equity ratio. And industry can have a business risk or not. The light aircraft business risk, WACC, is how much percent? 14%. That represents the light aircraft business risk. Everybody will follow because there is a, say, technology business risk, there's an education business, so every sector is having a risk or not. The light aircraft business risk is how much percent? 14% is the return WACC given for the light aircraft business. These are all the details given. Tell me, are you following what I am saying? So what you have done? Explain the question. I just explain what the question. Question in a easy manner we just understood it. Can I go to the next stage of discussion or not? Now, next. Borrowing cost is 9% or not? This 9% is before tax, after tax. Because I can borrow at 9%, means become how much tax here? Before tax. Okay. I should multiply by how much percent? 35%. Tell me 9% into 1 minus 0.35. I want a number. What number I want to get? 5.85%. The after-tax borrowing cost is 5.85%. That is, the bank is giving me loan for how much percent? 9%. I can borrow this 5 lakh euros at what percent? 9%. But on that I can claim tax shield or not. So, what the borrowing cost after tax? 5.85%. Respond yes or no. Now, this is one interest rate I am having. What one interest rate here? Borrowing cost after tax is 5.85%. Respond yes or no. Now, another is given WACC. Another given is what? WACC. What is WACC expansion? Weighted average cost of capital. How you calculate? Source, proportion, cost, weighted cost. Source will be what? Equity, and then what? Debt. We read KD, KN, calculate or not? Now tell me this WACC 14% is before tax, after tax? It will be what? After tax, because while calculating WACC, the KD return will be what? KD into 1 minus T. Yes or no? You say, sir, no, I wrote only before tax. Now, I cannot say WACC into 1 minus T is what? After tax, because inside WACC, KE is where tax shield cannot be obtained. Yes or no? Unless I know the debt equity ratio, I cannot make it as after tax. So, we can assume that always in any question, WACC given will be what? After tax WACC only. Everybody following or not? The issue now. So now tell me, the borrowing cost given 5.85% is what? The borrowing cost before tax. The WACC given is what? WACC after tax. If you argue, sir, no, I'll take WACC is what? Before tax 14%. Now, tell me then what is after tax? Don't say 14% into what? 1 minus 0.35, because in that 14% KE is which does not have a tax shield. Are you following what I am saying? In that case, WACC what they given is calculated after taking what? Debt tax shield. It is after tax only. One should be understanding it. Enough, right or not? Now, in the second point I just wanted to tell. Tell me what are the two interest rates given? Borrowing cost. If I apply for loan and borrow money to buy this asset, I have a borrowing cost or not? The bank is charging how much borrowing cost? 9%. What after tax borrowing cost? 5.85%. Point number one. Yes or no? And what is the other discount rate given? WACC. What is WACC here? 14%. It represents what? The aircraft business risk. Enough, right or not? Okay. Now, the beauty of this sum is, they use for different cash flows the different discount rates. They use for what? Different cash flows, the different discount rate. Now let us see what are all the cash flows that may come in our calculation and what are all the discount rate to be used. Once I complete the discussion, I'll go for the solution. After the solution is over, I'll give you the important points discussed in this particular problem. Can I proceed or not? Now, see. First, loan option. Let's take what first? Loan option. Loan and buy. Tell me the cash flow. One is what? Principal. Number two is what? Interest after tax. Number three is what? Depreciation, tax savings. Number four is what? Salvage value after tax. Is the loan option. Yes or no? Now, second option is what? financial lease. Okay, financial lease, that is what? Operating and habits are changed. Okay, what is the here? Lease rental. I'm going to have what? Lease rental after tax. Next is what? Operating lease. Here also going to have what? Lease rental after tax. Okay, I am operating lease rental after tax. Everybody, are you comfortable or not? No. All these cash flows, I'll discount this, discount this, discount this. Which one is having what? Lowest I should select. Is that my answer? Right or not? No. In this, we should understand what cash flows are influenced by aircraft business risk. And what cash flows are uninfluenced by aircraft business risk. I will follow what I am saying. Light aircraft business is having a risk or not? What is the risk of a light aircraft business here? People may want to use an aircraft in the future years or may not want to use that aircraft. There will be some other model that may be coming where this business may not be, say, doing good. Yes or no? So light aircraft business, not our lessee, I am saying the light aircraft business, those who are flying light aircraft, that business may boom, the business may have what? Recession. Airline business ke risk is that? Yes or no? Because during GDP increase, the business may what? Boom. It may also want decrease. Like that, right aircraft business is having a risk. The risk is called as businesses of the aircraft. Enough, right or not? Now, tell me, some cash flows are really influenced by the light aircraft businesses. Can I say it? Now, let's see what are all those cash flows. Salvage value. What is the first cash flow? Salvage value. I estimated a salvage value of 4 lakhs for this plane after 1 year. 3 lakhs for this plane after 5 years. Now, suppose the aircraft business is not doing good. Okay, nobody is taking on rent what? Light aircraft, or the business is very dull. In that case, that asset will be selling for high value, low value, low value. People may not pay that salvage value, can even reduce. Yes or no? The estimation only, the salvage value is agreed estimation. Suppose the light aircraft business is booming. It is not booming in anything. All people want that aircraft to run and make money. Yes or no? In that case, the demand for that aircraft increases or not? In that case, its price also what? Increases. Salvage value becomes more. Yes or no? That means how much salvage value I get from this aircraft all depends on how good is the aircraft business. I will follow what I am saying. So that means this salvage value after tax is a cash flow influenced by the light aircraft business. Now, this should be discounted at normal borrowing cost or WACC. WACC only represents what? The light aircraft business. It has KE also inside the response. Yes or no? In that case, I should discount this using what? The weighted average cost of capital. Right or no? Now, another example, operating lease rental. Next is what? Operating lease rental. Now, this year taken on lease 1,18,000 euro. Next year I said inflation may be what? 4%. Or actually I expected. Inflation may even be what? 8%. Can even be what? 2%. We believe that is going to increase the rent by how much percent? 4%. We have not signed a contract that the rent will be increased by 4% every year. Yes or no? No. Next year when I go for taking the aircraft once again on rent, if the business is dull, he will not have no other person to take on rent. Yes or no? He may be even offering for a lower rent. I have the ability to negotiate. Yes or no? Suppose the light aircraft business is so good that so many people are taking aircraft from rent and flying it. In that case, for him the aircraft is in heavy demand. Yes or no? In that case, he is charging a lesser rent, higher rent. The rent will increase if the demand increases. House rent like that only, yes or no? House rent, we believe that every year may increase by how much percent? 5%. Suddenly 15,000 rupees, house rent becomes what? 25,000, because in that area, lot of people want to come and stay. Are you following what I am saying? In such case, if the business booms, operating lease cost increases. If the business does not boom, it need not want increase by 4%. In that case, this operating lease rental, how much I am going to pay, is also dependent on the boom or recession in the aircraft business. Yes or no? Now tell me, this should be discounted using what? WACC. All the other cash flows are not influenced by my aircraft businesses because I have borrowed a loan. I have borrowed what? A loan. When I repay the loan and pay what? Interest, is this cash flow influenced by boom or recession aircraft business? Not at all. Yes or no? No. I have borrowed a loan. Here is the financing cash flow. Yes or no? I borrowed a loan I borrowed 5 lakh euros loan. Yeah, I have to repay the euro loan. Yes or no? No. Whether the aircraft business is booming or not booming, still I have to pay what? The same principal. I have to pay what? The same interest. This cash flow is not influenced by what? The aircraft businesses. I should not discount a higher WACC of 14%. KE has got nothing to do with it. Yes or no? I'll discount at what? The borrowing cost. I'll discount at the borrowing cost. This interest and interest after tax. Respond. Yes or no? Similarly, depreciation is always on historical cost, not on market value. Yes or no? Now, depreciation amount is already known or not? When you buy the asset for 5 lakh rupees, the depreciation is known or not? Depreciation amount also known, tax rate also what? Known. Tax also does not depend on the aircraft business, and dep also does not depend on what? The aircraft business. These two numbers are not related to what? What happens in aircraft business. So this is having no relationship with them. Discount using WACC, borrowing cost, and discount depreciation, borrowing cost. Respond, yes or no? These costs should not be discounted at a higher rate which is influenced by aircraft business. Can I proceed? Come to the financial lease. Once I agree for a financial lease for 5 years, will I pay more lease rental, less lease rental, same lease rental, same lease rental? Irrespective of what happens to aircraft business, the rent is going to be what? Same only. So this is also uninfluenced by aircraft business. Hence the discounted what cost here? Borrowing cost. So these are all the proper discount rate that should be used in solving this problem. A very good sum, because in this angle the problem should be thought about. Can I proceed? No. Very simple. Ultimately, discussion simple here. Cash flows. Is this cash flow affected by aircraft business or not affected by the aircraft business? If it is affected, discount using what? WACC. If not, discount using what? The borrowing cost is the ultimate discussion. Tell me, what are all the items which is not affected by the business here? Whether the aircraft demand is increasing or decreasing. I pay the same principal, I pay the same interest, I claim the same tax savings and depreciation, I pay the same financial lease rental. All these 4 cash flows, irrespective of what is happening to the business, is going to be what? Saved. Discounted what cost? Borrowing cost. But my salvage value of my plane depends on the demand for the plane. Yes or no? Which in turn depends on what? The business the plane is having. Right or not? Similarly, the operating lease rental also will increase or decrease based on the demand for the plane, because they are not the freeze rental in the beginning itself. These 2 cash flows are very much dependent on the aircraft business. Hence, discount using what? WACC is what is the conclusion of this particular sum. The remaining areas are all very simple. Now, one more point. What is depreciation? Original cost minus salvage value divided by number of years. In this problem, I will depreciate the full cost. I'll depreciate what? The full cost. I don't reduce the salvage value. In fact, RTP has not reduced what? Salvage value. The problem is, I don't know the salvage value for certain. Yes or no? In that case, it is better to write off what? The full depreciation and claim the tax benefit. Everybody follow what I am saying? In a salvage value can be 4 lakhs or what? 3 lakhs. And the 4 lakhs, 3 lakhs is not certain. It all depends on what? Aircraft business risk. When I reduce salvage value and discount, then my problem is regarding discounted, because for salvage value discounted is different and the original cost discounted is what? Different. Hence for convenience, we don't reduce salvage value. We depreciate the full cost of asset while doing the calculation. Everybody following not? Now, these are all the issues we are having. Can I start doing the problem or not? And one more thing. Whenever I do a problem, for example, I have a cash flow. Say salvage value after tax. It can be 4 lakhs or what? 3 lakhs. Will you expect 4 lakhs or 3 lakhs? Average. I expect what? The average. So 4 lakhs into 0.2 and 3 lakhs into 0.8 and so on. Always all the cash flows which I do will be based on what basis? Average basis. Where a probability is involved for a cash flow, I'll use what? Average for doing the calculations. Everybody, are you having the clarity or not? No. I'll complete the sum and then we'll be having the notes. Can I do the solution together or not? No. Can I discuss panna purinjidappa? Okay, now, ultimate.
Salvage value we are not taking we are not taking while calculating depreciation because it is not very certain. For calculating depreciation itself, we need number of years.
Correct.
That number of years itself is not certain, no sir.
See, here, when I say not certain, I see the business risk. See, depreciation alone, what happens is 1 year or 5 years. Okay, we have a depreciation of into 0.2, 0.8 apply, a number will be got. I can use borrowing cost for discounted that. Understand? If I reduce salvage value, then what happens is, one original cost is a certain number, and salvage value, I don't say uncertain regarding 1 year or 5 years, I say what? The salvage value uncertain, yes or no? That is exposed to what? Businesses. Hence, we use what? Full cost depreciation and not using the salvage value. Now, we need not shoot in the area. Let us go for what? The problem will be understanding it much more better. Now, yes or no? Now, see. These problems only make the subject interesting. Understand that. And these problems only, if it comes in exam, we should know how to solve it. They teach us concept. Please listen. Can I proceed or not? Okay. Before I proceed, I want a clarification. What are the two interest rate given? Open here. What are two interest rate given? Borrowing cost and WACC. Why WACC is given? That represents what? Aircraft business risk. Borrowing cost is going to be the representing risk free. It is something about RF, we can call as what? Borrowing cost. It does not have what? Aircraft businesses. Point number one, accepted. Now, borrowing cost beta is 0. WACC can have what? A levered beta on the aircraft businesses. Respond yes or no? In that case, WACC represents businesses and borrowing cost is going to have what? Only the cost of borrowing. Does not have a businesses. Respond yes or no? Now, cash flows affected by businesses, not affected by what? Businesses. Can name the cash flow affected by businesses? Salvage value, operating lease rental. What is not affected? Interest, principal, depreciation, financial lease. All this will be same. What turn may happen to what? Aircraft business. Now, that's all. Can I proceed further? Now, let's do the solution and then have the notes later. Let's do it together. Write down. Question number 28. Question number 28. Don't get too confused. 3 options. I forgot. What are 3 options? Buy and say. That is borrow and buy. Then operating lease, financial lease. Accepted? Now, first. Borrow and buy. Please. Shh. Right. Option 1. Borrow and buy. Option 1. Borrow and buy. Can we start now? Step 1. Present value of tax savings on depreciation. I have to find out 2 numbers. Tax savings and depreciation. Second is what? Salvage value after tax. Is that correct? Present value of tax savings on depreciation. Particulars, computation, amount. Particulars, computation, amount. There are 2 scenarios. One is what? I can keep the machine for, I can keep the aircraft for 1 year. I can keep it for how many years? 5 years. It is all depending upon whether the contract will be renewed or not. So to the tax savings, now first 5 years. 5 years. Can you start or not? Now, what is asset cost? How many years life? 5 years. What depreciation per annum? 1 lakh. Yes or no? 1 lakh depreciation. I claim for 1 year, 5 years, 5 years. I believe I am going to keep the aircraft for 5 years. Yes or no? So it is going to be 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh. How many years? 5 years. On that 1 lakh, how much percent tax can be saved? 35%. So 35,000 tax savings is single tax saving. Annuity. Multiplied by annuity factor discounted at what percent? 5.85%. Respond yes or no? No. Right down 1 lakh into. Sometimes there can be 1 or 2 typing mistake. Just correct it when it is that. Okay, 1 lakh into 35%. What is 1 lakh? What is 35%? Tax saving. This tax saving happens once, 5 times, 5 times. It is what tax savings? Annuity tax savings. In the annuity factor 5 years, how much percent? 5.85%. We'll write later how I got the 5.85%, but you can know now what is how I got 5.85%? 9% into 65%. Can I proceed? Now, tell me the amount. Tell me how to find annuity factor. 1 divided by 1.0585 is equal to 5 times GT into 35,000. I want a number. Don't be lazy. What's the answer? Into 35,000, what's the number? 1,48,030 rupees. You check my calculation also. 1,48,030 rupees. 6 rupees, leave it. I'll give it to beggar. 1,48,030 rupees. Can I proceed? Now, don't fight for me for rounding up. Can I proceed? Now, my choice for rounding up. Next is what? 1 year. 1 year also, still depreciation is 1 lakh. But only thing is, I won't get this for 5 years. I claim only for what? 1 year. Since I want to sell at the end of the first year. Right or not? Now, in that case, depreciation is 1 lakh into how much percent? 35%. Into annuity factor, present value factor, present value factor. So 1 lakh into 35% into present value factor, 1 year, 5.85%. So 35,000 into 1 by 1.0585. What the number you got? Tell me the number. 33,070. 65 or 70? 33,070. Okay, 33,070. Now, my question is my tax savings 1,48,030, 33,070? Can be both. Can be both. So tell me, will I expect 1,48,000? Will I expect 33 or average? Average. We don't expect extremes. We only expect what? Average. Expected tax savings is what? Average. Can I say 148 plus 33 divided by 2? No. It's not simple as because both has got what? Different probabilities. So it is going to be what? Weighted average. Respond. Yes or no? Now. So write down expected. Expected is, can tell me the calculation, what into what plus what into what? 0.8 into 148,030 plus what? 0.2 into 33,070. 0.8 into 148,030 plus 0.2 into 33,070. Can tell me the number? What the number it is? 1,25,040. This is the expected tax savings on my depreciation amount is 1,25,040. Tell me why I use 5.85% discount rate? Because all these numbers are going to be same irrespective of whether aircraft business booms or it does not boom. Everybody, I think you're all following or not? Yes or no? Now, next, step 1 over. Can you guess what is step 2? Salvage value after tax. I hope you have finished writing or not. Next, step 2. Present value of salvage value after tax. Since I depreciate the full asset amount, the entire salvage value can become gain. Yes sir. Thungada. Finish writing or not? Now. Organizing. Are you here or not? Suppose I keep the plane for 5 years. What is the WDV of the plane at the end of 5th year? Answer. 0. In an entire 5 lakh depreciation, in that case, the entire salvage becomes gain on sale. Yes or no? On how much tax? 35% tax can be applied, and the balance is only what? 65 comes to my hand. Respond. Yes or no? The salvage value after tax is what? The salvage value into what? 65%. Right or not? Now, this is coming after how many years? 5 years. My question is that number 100% sure or not sure? Not sure. It all depends on my aircraft business at the end of what? 5 years. So that should be discounted at a small 5.85, big 14%, big 14. It is more risky than depreciation, other cash flows. Everybody able to follow what I am saying? So let us discount it. So particulars, computation, and then what? Amount. Particulars, computation, and amount. Particulars, computation, and amount. Can we start or not? Now. 5 years. Particulars, computation, amount, 5 years. Tell me what is the amount of salvage value after 5 years? 3 lakhs into 65%. What is 65%? The after tax. Now, wrongly typed. Instead of annuity factor, write what? Present value factor. Single cash flow. Correct? Can I proceed? So it is 3 lakhs into 65%. Why 3 lakhs does not come to me? Government takes what? 35%. I get only balance 65%. Discount at 14%, 5 years. Now tell me the number here. Everybody, have you all called? What is the number? 1,01,277. 101,277. 101,277. Or I can even keep it for 1 year and sell. It or not. So at the end of first year, how much salvage value? 4 lakhs. In how much percent? 65%. Okay, sorry, 4 lakhs. In not 65%. The reason is very simple here. See, 1 lakh I provide depreciation, right or not? That means 5 lakhs. Asset become how much lakhs here? 4 lakhs. 4 lakh assets sold for how much base? Yeah, 4 lakh. Tell me there's a profit on sale, loss on sale, no profit, no loss, no profit, no loss. So it's going to be what? No tax. Entire salvage value is mine. In the RL fund, what I am saying. So the 65% is wrong. Sorry, it is not put there. So it is 4 lakhs into present value factor 1 year, 14%. Should I explain that point once again or can I proceed? Should I explain? Now, I'll explain once again. I can see your faces. No, very simple. Yeah. Don't copy anything. First of all, I keep the plane for 1 year and sell. Accept or not? I purchase a plane for how much base? 5 lakh. What depreciation for 1 year? 1 lakh I provided. What the WDV? 4 lakhs. I sold for how much base? 4 lakh. 4 lakh sold for 4 lakh. What the profit on sale? 0. What the tax here? 0. Entire 4 lakhs my money. Got it? So no need to have what? Tax that is gone. It is going to be what? Entire 4 lakhs is going to be the salvage value because tax is 0. Remember, right or not? So it is 4 lakhs into present value factor 1 year 14%. 4 lakhs into present value factor 1 year 14%. Can you tell me what is that here? 3,50,877. 3,50,877. 350,877. Respond yes or no? No. My question is, I can get a salvage value of 1 lakh and odd or what? 3,50,000 and odd. Will I get 1 lakh or 3,50,000 or expect average? Average. What average? Weighted average. As respective probabilities. Yes or no? No. Write down expected 0.8 into 101,277 plus 0.2 into 350,877. 0.8 into 101,277 plus 0.2 into 350,877. Can knock it off and tell me what is the amount here? 1,51,197. 1,51,197. 151,197. Everybody able to understand it or not? No. So this is the expected salvage value after tax. Now, my confirmation. Why this 4 lakhs is now multiplied by 65%? No tax. Why no tax here? The book value also 4 lakhs. Sale value also 4 lakhs. No tax. Hence, entire amount belongs to the company. Why I am discounting using 14%? Salvage value itself is what? Uncertain. It all depends on the business risk. Are you following or not? No. Step 1, depreciation, tax savings over. Step 2 is what? Salvage value after tax over. Now, interest after tax and principal should I calculate and discount? No need. No need. The entire value discount gives how much? 5 lakh because that is what is the borrowing cost discounted. Written order. So that step can be avoided. Can I proceed? Now, next step 3, discounted cash flow loan option. Discounted cash flow loan option. DCF loan option, discounted cash flow loan option, particulars type discounted cash flow. Particulars type and discounted cash flow. Now, tell me what is the first cash flow? Present value of loan payments. Tell me what are the loan payments? Principal payment, interest after tax payment. If I write and discount, it is an unnecessary work. It will be giving me what? Same 5 lakhs. The present value of loan payment. The type is what? Outflow. Amount is 5 lakhs. The present value of loan payments, outflow. The amount is 5 lakhs. Next, tell me what next item? Present value of depreciation tax savings. Present value of depreciation tax savings. Present value of depreciation tax savings. I want to know the type inflow or outflow. Inflow 125,040. You calculated in step number 1. It is expected. It is what? Expected because 80 chance for having in 5 years, 24 in what? 1 year. PV of salvage value. Present value of salvage value. Whenever you use the word salvage value, I mean salvage value after tax. Present value of salvage value inflow. PV of salvage value inflow 151,197. 1,51,197. If you knock it off, I'll be getting net discounted cash flow is 2,23,763. Loan option gives you a cash flow of 2,23,763. 223,763. I want a response. Yes or no? Can I go to the next stage? No. First loan option over. Can I go to the next option or not? Finish writing or not? Finish copying up? Okay, next. Financial lease option. Option 2, financial lease option. Change the order, nothing wrong. Third is what? Operating lease I am writing. Option 2, financial lease option. Before I tell me, financial lease option, The lease rental are subjected to aircraft business or not subjected or not subjected. My discounted obviously should be what rate? 5.85%. The response is or no. And one more issue is a financial lease rental paid in arrears or paid in advance? Paid in advance. Instead of paying 1 to 5, I pay what? 0 to 4 years. Ennappa right or not? No. Next is present value of lease rental after tax. Present value of lease rental after tax. I am doing this problem as done by the RTP. Okay, in RTP what they do is, normally in one of the sum, the rental is paid in advance, the tax shield is in what? Arrears. Never. We did one problem earlier. The lease rental is paid in what? Advance. The tax is paid in what? Arrears. Yes, how we did one problem or not? Another way is they enjoy the tax shield as soon as what the lease rental is paid. That's how the problem has been solved. I am solving the same way how the RTP is solved because the solution should not be different. Right or not? Now. Now. Suppose I pay 10,000 lease rental today, tax rate 30%. Immediately I can claim what? Tax 30, I pay only 7,000. The tax shield also assumed to be what? Enjoyed at the beginning of the year in advance. Can I proceed? No. Particulars computation amount. Particulars computation and amount. Okay. 5 years can also be what? 1 year. 5 years. How much I pay every year? 75,000. Invest 35%, I can save tax. The balance how much it is? 65%. So 75,000 is paid every year. Invest 65% only is my expense. 35% is what? Tax savings. 75,000 into 65% is the lease rental after tax. Accept or not? Into annuity factor. How many years here? 4 years at 5.85% plus what? 1. Annuity immediate. Suppose I have 5 annuity immediate. I find annuity factor how many years? 4 years. Add 1 to it. Right or not? So annuity factor 4 years, 5.85%. And add to it what? 1. Annuity factor 4 years, 5.85%. And add to it 1. Can we proceed or not? Now, if you want, somebody tell me how to do the calculation here. Tell me how to do it. 1 divided by 1.0585 is equal to 4 times plus what? Grand total. To that add what? 1. And then multiply that with what? 75,000 into 65%. Respond yes or no. If you all have done it, tell me the number here. 2,18,255. 2,18,255 or 256, as the case may be 218,255. One assumption is lease rental also paid in advance. The tax also enjoyed in what? Advance. So everything happens simultaneously. Now assume as like TDS or something is deducted. Everybody following what I am saying? Can I proceed? Next. 1 year. 1 year is simple. 75,000 into 65%. P factor of year 0 is what? 1. First year I don't pay the end of the first year. I pay only at what? Beginning of the first year. It is 75,000 into 65% into 1. What is 1? Present value factor for year 0. Because the number is not paid at the end of the year. Paid at what? Beginning of the year. So what is the number here? 48,750. No. May have a confusion. So it's a financial lease. Whether the contract is renewed or not renewed, still I have to pay for 5 years. Where is 80-20 chance? A question may be asked. In a question, yes or no? Yes, is operating a financial lease. The mining company gives me the contract for 5 years. How many years lease I have to pay? 5 years. He gives me his contract only for 1 year. How many years I have to pay? 5 years. Lease is non-cancelable. Yes or no? Then how I can write 75,000 into what? 1 year only? Because the remaining 4 years I can sublet for what? 75. I pay 75, receive 75. Cash flow is 0. That is what I say. So make suitable assumption question said or not. We assume that we can sublet for the same 75,000 euros. Everybody following what I am saying? Cash flow now. In that case, tell me, I expect to pay 2,18,000 or 48,000 average. So expected is 0.8 into 2,18,255, 0.8 into 2,18,255 plus 0.2 into 48,750. But 0.2 into 48,750. Can you tell me the multiply number? What is the amount here? 1,84,354. 1,84,354. 184,354. This is under what option? Financial lease. One more option is that what? Operating lease. With that we'll complete the sum. No. Before that, those understanding till now what has been done in the sum, raise your hand here. Any others? Bulb, huh? Can I see? No. Next. Option 3, operating lease option. Option 3, operating lease option. Let us complete and leave you. Operating lease option, please. Shh. Can we start or not? No. We have two options, 5 years and then what? 1 year. 5 years not an issue. Step 1, right? 5 years. I am discounting at what percent? 14%. Why 14%? The rent of the aircraft may be increasing and decreasing based on the demand for the aircraft, which in turn depends on what? The business. Okay. Now, here lease rental after tax, PVF, and then discounted cash flow. Can I start now? Now, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Lease rentals are paid in advance. Question said na 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's not an annuity. It increases at 4%. Question given or not? No. Now, first year, how much I pay lease rental? 1,18,000, which I pay at the beginning of the first year. Next time when I go to the other person, he fixes the same 1,18,000, increases. Now, how much percent? 4%. 1,18,000 into 104%. Tell me the number. 122,720. 122,720. Into 104%. 127,629. Into 104%, 127,629. Into 104%, tell me, 132,734. 132,734. Into 104%, 138,043. 138,043. These are all the lease rental. These lease rental, can I claim tax benefit or not? Yes. So 35% is going to be tax savings or net expense 65%. Please tell me 118,000 into 65%. 76,700. Here I assume that the tax shield is enjoyed in the same time as I pay the lease rental. Yes or no? No. 122,720 into 65%, 79,768. 127,629 into 65%, 82,958. 82,958. 132,734 into 65%, 86,277. 86,277. 138,043 into 65%, 89,728. 89,728. Discount at 14%. What is ES0 personality factor? 1. 1 divided by 1.14 is equal to, number of what is the number? 0.8772 is equal to 0.7695 is equal to 0.6750 is equal to 0.5921. 0.592021. Okay, now 76,700 into 1, don't multiply, 76,700. 79,768 into 0.8772 is equal to 69,972. 69,972. 82,958 into 0.7695, 63,836. 63,836. 86,277 into 0.6150, 58,237. 89,728 into 0.5921, 53,128. 53,128. Right or not? Now, add and tell me what is the cash flow? 3,21,873. This will be my cash flow if I have the contract for how many years? 5 years. For this, the chance is 80%. Now, 1 year. Next, right? 1 year. It's very simple. In case of 1 year, I pay only one cash. How many days? 1,18,000. That was the beginning. Okay. 1,18,000. Invest 35% tax shield. Balance is what? 65%. 1,18,000 into 65% into 1. What the number? 76,700. 76,700. 180 into 65% into 1, 76,700. Tell me my expected cost is 76,700. 321,873 average. So write down the expected lease rental after tax is equal to expected LRAT is equal to 0.8 into 321,873. 0.8 into 321,873 plus 0.2 into 76,700. 0.2 into 76,700 is equal to 272,838. is equal to 2,72,838. 272,838. If you see, out of the three, which is lowest here? First, second, third, what is the lowest here? This is 272 and odd, and the financial is going to be how much here? It is 184. And what is first option here? 223. What is the lowest here? Second option. Write or not? Write down. Financial lease results in least outflow. Financial lease results in least outflow, hence should be selected. Financial lease results in least outflow, hence should be selected. Financial lease results in least outflow, hence should be selected. Everybody, I think you are all comfortable or not? Now, next class we will write a brief notes for the issue discussed, have one summary discussion about the chart of discount rate, and go for the other areas in capital budgeting.